Hello again in this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. I'm grateful to all of you who follow me here and of this little community here on YouTube. If you're new here, my name is Nicholas, and on my channel I talk about witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, self-love, and all matter of philosophical and spiritual topics, and I share my journey with you. So if you're interested in those types of things, this is the right place for you. Please join this amazing community, please subscribe. Click the bell icon to be notified each time I post a new video. And if you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. Today I'm going to be talking about respecting other people's beliefs. I feel that's so important because in today's world, history is repeating itself. Because if we look at the past, different people would tear people apart, they would disrespect each other and would destroy each other for having different beliefs. We can see this even though King Henry created the Protestant sort of Reformation and tradition. Protestants, because they were in charge for a time, would do a lot of horrible and terrible things to those who identified as Catholic, but there's battles on each side and it was horrible. And then even if you go further back in history, Christians done a lot of horrible things to pagan groups and other religions because they believed what their way was the only way, the true way, which is very disrespectful. So how do we respect other people's beliefs? Now, we don't respect someone else's beliefs by agreeing with them. We don't just say, because you believe in it, I'll believe in it, because that's following the leader, that's foolish. We simply listen to someone. We say, I respect what you believe in, I'm glad it gives you comfort, guidance, and we don't and to say to somebody, you respect what they believe in, that is positive, and you say, I see why you see things the way you see them. That's all well and good, that's positive. What is negative, however, is if you say, because you don't believe the same thing as me, you're an idiot or you're wrong. That's when you're disrespecting someone else's beliefs. When you call them an idiot or you say what their beliefs are wrong, that is disrespectful. It's not disrespectful to say, I see what you believe in, I see why you believe in that, and I'm glad it brings you comfort, it makes sense. I just don't see things that way, but I'm glad you do. That's not disrespectful. It's disrespectful to call someone an idiot or call them wrong or stupid because they've got different beliefs from you. It's also wrong to try and bring someone down because they've got different beliefs for you. That is wrong. Like, I've had many wonderful discussions with those who follow the Christian religion and Christian tradition. Many wonderful discussions, and many Christians, they believe in a higher power, which is God, and I too believe in a higher power, but for me God is very much like an onion. God is no true name, no true face. God is like many names with faces, and God is divinity is both the masculine and the feminine divine, and the different powers that be, like God is Hecate, Aphrodite, Isis, those are archetypes they're beings in their own right, but they represent the feminine divine. And then gods like Horus, Apollo, Thor, these gods represent the masculine divine. That's what they represent. But I do believe, just like Christians, I do believe in a higher power, and many religions do believe in a higher power, or people on a spiritual path believe in a higher power. We all might see it differently, but I like to find common ground with people on a religious or spiritual path. I like to find common ground, as in everyone sort of believes in a higher power. We might call it different things, believe it's different things, but however, to me it comes to you in a form that makes sense to you. And I've had wonderful conversations with people from Christian backgrounds, people from different faiths, but I listen to what they have to say, I respect what they believe in and what makes sense to them, but I always say, I see why you see things, I'm glad it brings you comfort, guys. I don't have the same beliefs as you, but I respect them. And that's as simple as that. It's just understanding everyone has got different beliefs, different ideas, and you don't call them an idiot, you don't call them stupid. You just respect what other people believe in. As the old saying, there's an old saying, let live and let live. So if someone wants to go to church when the church is open, they want to pray to God, Jesus, Mary, they want to follow that path, let them follow it. That person's living their truth. And if someone's following the Hindu path, the Buddhist path, or someone like me is following an eclectic pagan path, and I'm also a practicing witch, that's my journey, that's my path. So I'm living my path. And that's where live and let live comes in. Do your own thing, don't harm anyone, and do your thing. Believe what you believe, and let other people go their way and believe what they want to believe, and respect everyone's beliefs. And there's even gods or spirits that I don't work with, but I do respect them. Like, I have respect for Mary, I have respect for Jesus, I have respect for a lot of the saints, and I do see them differently from those who see them in like the Jesus. I do see Jesus different from what those in the Christian tradition see him as, and same with Mary and other saints and things like that. But someone telling you what they don't agree with you is not them disrespecting you. It's when someone calls you an idiot or says what you believe in is wrong and trying to bring you down. That's disrespect. It's not disrespect for someone to simply see why you see things the way they are, and I'm glad it brings you comfort and joy, and I just don't see things that way. That's not disrespect. But as human beings, I think sometimes we don't know if someone's disrespecting us or our beliefs, or we don't. And as human beings, we can also get very zealous. We tend to think with our way of seeing things, our belief is the only way, the true way. And it's the same if, for example, I don't follow an organised religion, but if, in organised religions you've got a set of beliefs, you've got a structure. And a lot of people think, because they're all following the same God, they're all following the same path, people tend to think, well, all these people are following the right path, the true path, we're all in it together type of thing. Which is a delusion, because there's a lot of people that might be in the crowd, but they've not got your back. And also I would say, there's no right or wrong path in life. There's only the path what you as an individual find right. And we find the path which is right for us by listening to our heart and our inner voice. But that's a big lesson we need to learn right now as human beings, to respect other people's beliefs. And that's what we have to learn. And let live and let live. That is something we have to learn. Because that's why all these wars are happening in the world. All these wars, because people don't respect each other's beliefs, each other's boundaries. And even everyday people can have disagreements, arguments. When it was the Scottish referendum, that's another aspect. Okay, there's some individuals that believe that Scotland should be independent. Okay, that is their belief. That's never going to change. Some people, they might have thought that Scotland should have been independent, and they still believe that. Some people, they've received new knowledge, new ideas, so they change their belief, they change their way of thinking. Some people, like myself, believe that Scotland is better being part of the United Kingdom. But that's my belief, and that's what I believe in my heart, my soul. And anyone who believed different. Now, when it was the big Scottish debate, I was disrespectful, because there was people that believed that being Scotland was... one of my dentists believed that Scotland being independent would be a good thing. But I didn't say she was an idiot, but I said that those who believe that are idiots. But because she believed that, I was calling her an idiot. So that was me being very disrespectful. But now, if there was a big debate, I would simply say to someone, I respect what you believe, the way you see things, I just don't see things that way. Because it's so important to respect other people's beliefs, agree to disagree, and let live and let live. As always, until next time, stay safe, stay wise, stay magical and wise. Always giving you a message of wisdom, and I hope this message of wisdom resonates with you, and helps you on your spiritual journey or path. Until next time, blessed be.